Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is so great to be here creating this layout with you. I've done this a few times and at the end of the video I am going to share my versions of this. Now this layout is part of our 2025 Scrappin' With You sketchbook, and each month in the group Creating With You exclusively on Facebook, we have a creative art challenge and we highlight sketches out of our book, and we have two this month, and this is one of our sketches. Oh, I think I had it in the front. There we go. This one is sketch 11, and it's in balance, and I am here to make it again. As I said, I'll share my other ones. I've actually tried to do this video live with technical challenges. Not a fan of those tech challenges, everybody, but let's go ahead and scrap in on this. Okay, I've done a lot of my cuts. The collection that I am using is this Echo Park Noah's Ark collection. This was perfect because my husband and my son and I went to Noah's Ark. It is incredible in Kentucky. And I am going to go ahead and scrapbook these pictures. I love it. All right, so I have some dark greens that I pulled out of my stash. I believe this is pine. And then I went ahead and I cut my pieces down. I'm going to remove some of my pieces. I have it laid out, so hopefully I can remember what they look like. I should have took a picture and hung it next to me. Okay, so what I've done is I just got my pieces together for the purposes to, save time on the video. I went ahead and pre-cut this. This is my actual process that I normally do when I sketch scrapbook. I normally will, we're going to line this up all the way to the center of the right side. And this piece here is, let's go ahead and see. This piece is, oh, we got to go down here. 11 by 10, 11 across, 10 down. And I chose this tools paper because there were two of them in the pack, and I really like for this layout for both of them to be the same. Now for this one here, I called it In Balance when I named this for our sketchbook, because if you'll notice, the layout's completely in balance. There are two of the same base pieces. There's two of these, there's two of these, there's two of these, two of these, there's two 4x6s, there's two 4x3s, there's two 3x3s. So it just really works. All right, I'm going to go a 1/2 inch up. So I laid that at 1, that big piece. This is at the 1 1/2 or a 1/2 inch up from the bottom, so we can see a little bit of that. And I did change the sizes of these. So you can see this one here is, I don't know, maybe 1 3/4, but it's by 10. And then this one here, what I did was, you don't always have to go specific with the layouts. I cut it so that the little marching animals would look cute. So this one ended up being 1 1/4, but the size for this could technically be, another size on the guide here. Let's take a look. She can speak. Hold on. So the size for this is like 1 1/2 and then 1 1/4, and I think I might have like 1 3/4, and whatever. You can play with these stripes at the bottom a lot. So now I've added 3/8 of an inch of this striped paper. I love to put the striped papers in my layouts, and the reason why I like to put them in is it brings in the full color palette. So anytime I can bring those in, I'm going to. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut this. Let me get close on that again. Let's say right in between that blue. I want to keep the blue though. All right, so I'm looking to cut this added 3/8 of an inch. This is going to be 9 3/8. Okay, I'm just cutting that 9 3/8. I add these all the time, pieces like this all the time. It's an easy way to bring in a larger color palette. Okay. But I love doing, stripes are my favorite to bring in. Right, so I'm just adding that underneath, just changing the stripes at the bottom. And when I share and show the other layouts that I've made with this at the end, I think you'll be able to really see it. All right, I think we're this way maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're this way. I think I'm a big fibber. Got to move that down. All right, so we went to Noah's Ark. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these pieces down, but I just want to go over some additional pieces. So 2 of those 11 by 10s. These are both 4 1/4 by 6s, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, and I've added, just using the papers, I've added some circles using my die cuts and this here. I'll put the details down in the description for this collection here. This is the etched metal dies. It has these little toppers. I've been using these on almost every single layout. It's currently just laying on the side of my craft station so I can use it again and again. All right, I'll go ahead and get these all set up. I grabbed all solid papers that I had from my stash for this. I did not buy matching paper. I'm trying not to lay in on buying matching paper for every single thing and really use what's in my stash. Close enough is good enough. It really, really is good enough. All right, I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch, less than. We're going to say less than 1/4 of an inch from the side and from the bottom, and put that first one in. And then that way I can line it up here and just kind of center it a little bit what's left. That gets me close to being even with these cuts. Flipping this one over, just the same amount. And you can see why this is called imbalanced, because everything has 2 of everything. What's good for one is good for the other. So I even went ahead and did 2 mats in blue, 2 mats in brown, 2 mats in this. All right. That is that tag topper kind of thing that I have going on, that thin cut that I am loving. This gives me a way, excuse me, to bring in some more of the pattern papers as well. And also some circles. I like these circles. This one's out. Let's grab another. I'm trying to use some of these up. I was always starting new. And then I was like, I have to stop doing new. I wanted that to go under. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line up the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this one to line it up. Let me grab some of those hearts. Once again, just a thin cut. I've pulled this stamp and thin cut set out of my stash. Shopping my stash first on all things, but I pulled this one out. This is a close to my heart one, because I was looking for a small heart, just a thin cut. I don't want the stamp. I just wanted to be able to do some thin cuts, and I really want it small. But when I pulled this out and I saw the flower and the leaves that were in there, I looked at that and said, for starters, I have some stamps I never used in here, but I thought I could really use some of those flowers and that little leaf embellishment on some future layouts. So that worked out well for me too, to be able to have that. Always shop your stash first. Let me grab my big guy. Yeah, I feel like we're easily distracted by shiny objects. One of the things that I've been working on is using something old with all my new stuff. So I can buy something new as long as I'm, using some old stuff. So I have all cardstock from my stash here. Okay, so 9 3/4 was my measurement on this. I'm just going to do it again, give or take. Oh, I really didn't want it to end it white. That's why I flipped the other one over. Let's see. We're going to go this way with it. Okay. I don't want the white to be on the end. There we go. Okay. Okay, guys. You didn't get to see it, but I made that into the pail. And it's not a regular occurrence for me when I chucked that down. All right, so we're going to pop this in, and I'm not even going to measure at this point. I'm just going to drag that over and just kind of line them up. Just make sure they're good at the top and the bottom. Does not look adorable. I really, really like it. Let's add some glue. This guy. There we go. I think you can do anything with the size of the strips of paper that you put across the bottom. I think the key is just to make sure they're not all the same length. You really want them to be different lengths because that just adds so much more dimension and it draws your eye in a different way. Okay, maybe I have them in the right order, maybe I don't. I'm using the big one again because I'm going to put good adhesive down here. Okay. Funny story, guys. You might like this one. I recently have noticed more than ever. Okay, so I'm going to center this just to let you know a little bit between here and kind of the same distance, not quite a quarter of an inch from the center. That I always flip my papers over. So if I have black and it's the same on both sides, I flip it over. On a white piece of paper, I flip it over. And now that I've paid attention to it, I can't stop paying attention to it. And I'm just curious, how many of you does that happen to? Like, you don't notice anything. It doesn't make any sense. But then as soon as you have paid attention to it, now you're like, oh, I can't stop paying attention to it because, you know, now I've noticed it. I'm just kind of curious. All right, I'm going to put some liquid glue and do some tucking on these. Not exactly sure how I had them because I didn't do my photograph, but I feel like just layering these circles in different sizes, it's just really easy to do. I think I want that underneath. Just some liquid glue, making it easy on myself so I can, you know, if I work fast enough, I can kind of lift and tuck. There we go. Look at that. A very nice little border created, kind of in, then out, then back. There we go. Okay. Oh, I just realized I have shadow monsters, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. All right. That should help. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put down the photo placeholders just for, you know, to visualize. I know some of you like that. And I try to make sure I always put these on when I take my photos as well. I think it helps with, so you know how much of that paper is going to be seen once you add it. Now this is for, as I mentioned, we went to Noah's Ark. Describing Noah's Ark, everyone asks me to describe it. It's huge. Any way that I would describe it to you, you're not going to believe it. It is, I don't have any words. It's absolutely huge. And I'll share some pictures of this layout when I'm done. I am pre-doing multiple layouts for this. I even have another one all set up off to the side here to do. And then I'm going to add my pictures. I'll do a video sharing this Noah's Ark series as I am trying to get multiple layouts out of it. I have 182 pictures, but some of it is zip lining. The ark in itself, look, we're almost done. This is just coming together so nicely. Sketch of the month. All right, I have this blue that I was thinking about bringing in. It's a little bit lighter than this, and I think that might work. I have these dark greens I could use up, or these golds. I'm going to pass on the golds. Dark greens, I think I like the blues. I'm going to go with the blues. Now, I did some of these little hearts that I'm planning on incorporating in a couple of places, and I have the stickers. So the stickers are really awesome. I kind of knew that I was going to be putting this one right here. Oh, good. My red has come down nicely, and that'll be nicely layered. All right, I'm going to grab my anti-static pouch because what this needs is some foam tape. Dab, dab, dab off camera. I don't want that powder to go all over my layout. That powder is really something. Okay, I'm going to be able to put this on some foam tape. Well, I thought I had foam tape ready to go, but it looks like I'm starting a new one. And then I think I'm going to go with the blue. I want to add a few stickers. I feel like this layout is already ready to shine with that cute little border that's at the bottom. And I don't want to overdo it. I'm not looking for a super intricate top shelf kind of layout. I'm going to keep adding foam tape. There we go. I'm not looking for some super intricate layout. I'm going to lay my stickers out first. I think I'm going to want to put a couple of these hearts on my layout, so I want to do that. I also brought in these pins. I have some dark ribbon as well as this canvas ribbon that I might play with these. These are old. I've had these for, I don't know, a decade. And I have some, this is Sweet as Honey cork shapes. I thought the brown with the bottom here might work. Always shop your stash. Shop that stash. Okay, let's take a look at some of the things that I can use in here. I'm not looking, as I said, for a ton, but I would like to put a couple. This says, Jesus loves you. That's cute. Be kind. God is with you. And I'm thinking about something right in here. So I just want to look. I like to have my layout together before I do that. I knew this was the one that I picked. I'm thinking I like the two little bears, and I'm looking at my animals down here. I do like the dove, but these bears, I'm just feeling like these bears might want to come right here. Okay, put that on my sticker holder. I like the little tools as well, so I'm going to pull some of the tools. Sticker holders, there we go. I feel like I could spread those on the little pieces that I have pulled out. I like this Let Your Light Shine. And since I have the circles over here, I can add that and have two circles over there as well. I do like this brown Jesus Loves You. We'll see. Is that not cut out? Oh, I feel like they must have missed that in the cut. So I think that's missed in the cut. But I also like this God is with me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. There's so many good things here. I still think I want this one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Things happen all the time, you know. I'm really trying to relax in life. And, you know, if something happens and I can work around it, then I'll do the workaround. But this is a perfect example of, this is nothing to get upset with. This is a beautiful collection. And, this is a square cut. So if anything, I'm going to say thank you, God, for making the missed one a square cut on this, because I'm not a girl who cuts very well. All right, here we go. I actually do. I cut pretty well. All right, I think I might put this here, but I'm not 100 because it's a little bit big. Okay, my tools, my bears. I don't want to use too many, as I said. I do like these two, but I think this might do it for me. All right, with the other things I'm going to add. All right, let's go ahead and get this down. Off camera, I'm just dabbing with my anti-static pouch. I'm going to lay my stickers out. I really thought I was going to want to use more of those hearts on this, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I don't need as many. Okay, and then this little circle here. I kind of like that. And then I think I want to add a few more features after I get these on. Okay, I'm going to put all of the stickers that I have except these two teeny tiny tools on foam tape. I have done this layout a few times now, and I will definitely do it some more. One of the things about sketch scrapbooking is you can use the same sketch again and again and work through your papers. And what's so great about it is you can get really comfortable. I'm going to have the bears coming over the picture a little bit there. You can get really comfortable with a sketch and then how you want to add to it. So maybe you make it one time and it's, you know, just like the sketch. Maybe the second time you change the sizes at the bottom. The third time you're like, hey, I'm going to do 4 by 6s across this. Or, you know, you'll see in one that I'm going to share, I did all smaller photos across both of those. So I just went, you'll see it's my Paris one. I went straight across with both. Right, I think I'm going to let that hang off. I'm digging that. I'm going to leave that there. And I think this is good for me. Okay. Debating on if I want my hearts on foam tape or I want to keep them down. I'm going to keep them flat, but maybe look at the bling that I choose. There we go. This one here. We have been dealing with thunderstorms here, and it's quiet right now, no rumbling. All right, so here we go. Now, a couple of really cool things about Noah's Ark that I wanted to share, where I do my final details, add my bling, and some of the other things I've decided to add. One, as I mentioned, it's huge. The other thing is the way that they kind of explain how the ark would have came about, and all of the backstory that's in there, and how the animals would have been kept. And it's 3 floors high. It's unbelievable. But the amount of work that has gone into it, the ark in itself is absolutely beautiful. Just the craftsmanship of it is unbelievable. It was really just super cool. I'll go super cool, super cool. And then what they have there is they have a small zoo there as well. We ate at a restaurant there. We had the best time. We went 2 days. Everything about it, we had a really wonderful time, and I'm so thankful that we got to go. If you get a chance, it's in Kentucky. It is definitely amazing. It was built, it's my understanding it was built to the measurements in the Bible. So yeah, huge. Okay, I want to see if this canvas, I have this canvas and then I have this brown as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut both of these. I'm going to lay them on top of each other, kind of like, well, technically I want this one on this one. I was going to trim them off later, but I'm going to trim that one side. I'm going to put this through here and see if I like this knotted. So this is another thing. Maybe I like this and I can just add this to kind of my next few layouts that I have. And then I could be done with these, and they're out of my way, out of my stash. I don't have to deal with these little pins that I've had for, 10 years now. I can be happy to let them go and move on. I just decided that I was going to tie little knots, see if I like them with 2 kinds of ribbon. And if I didn't, I was just going to stick with the one. So even though I like that brown, I feel like it's weird looking to have the 2. So I'm going to just go back to 1. And see, I have a few of these left. I mean, I've used multiple packs of these in some other layouts back in the day. Back in the day? All right, here we go. I'm doing a simple knot that's going to be at the top. Just like this, I think. Just kind of want them to be a little bit shorter than what I have. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's just going to look really cute. I'm going to stick with that. And then to put them in, you can stick them right through foam tape and it will hold. That's what I used to do with them, is just put them straight through like my piece of foam tape that's in there. But now I just grabbed 3 mini dots and I've just pushed it down, and it's now attached with 3 little mini dots, and that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to have one little tie right there, and that might be the only one that I put on with this. That's kind of cute. Okay, now add more on the next one. I'm going to go to those blue, the light blue that I'm trying to destash. My FOMO buy, but all the bling, if you wonder what happened to all the enamel bling, it was me. All right. I'm always looking to use this up. I'm going to go ahead and go with some stars. There we go. I think those were the same size. Okay. On my other side, put some of them here. I feel like this needs a little something right there. I'm going to go back to my stickers really quickly. It needs like a little something right in here. There's a little 40 days and 40 nights. I think I'm going to take this one. See, that's two words next to each other. I don't know if I'm loving it, so I think I'm going to swap for this rainbow. Hopefully there's enough. Nope. I need to put that up on my ledge because there is not enough sticky to put that back on the mat now that I added the embossing powder to it. Here we go. This just needs a little something right here. Yep, that's a lot better. Okay. I'm going to rub this off and move it in a little bit more. Kind of looked like everything was in a row, and I didn't really love that. So I'm just kind of rubbing my foam tape off. Just in a tiny bit more. There we go. It's already on there. Let's see if I have one of the smalls. I can see it in the package. I think I would like that one more. I have many in here. I think I have 3 packs at this point condensed into one. Okay, I like that a lot better. And now I want to grab those cork shapes. And notice I'm not adding tons to this. I'm not adding tons, but I'm doing this in real time. So this is how long it, will take in real time. All right. I'm going to go with the hexagons. I would love to de-stash lots and lots of my stuff for multiple reasons. One is I really want the money's worth of, what I've spent. I mean, so that's the big thing. The big thing is, can I get my money's worth? I like the flat part on the top. Can I get my money's worth? So that's kind of the first thing that I'm thinking about when I go to my stash. We make investments in our craft supplies. Some are meant to give us some longevity, like stamps and dies. Some are just meant to be used up, consumable, like our papers. But, actually doing them is a good thing. Actually using them. All right, there's 2 down on that side. And I want to put one more. It's come off so nicely. I'm going to put one more down here. I like these little sidebar kind of things I got going on. And I'm only using the solids with this, the full solid pieces. They have some, I kind of didn't want to lose that detail right there. Gonna have to lose it. Let's see. I'm gonna change this in for size, but we're gonna put this one over here. I like the added brown that this gives to kind of go with that bottom. Oh, they are sticky. Almost put that one on wrong. One more little one for this side. And because these were cut the way they were cut, I have a feeling I'm going to be using these on a few projects before I get to finally say goodbye. I like that. Now it brings that all out, so it's not so small. And I'm going to grab one more small one for this side over here. This is so great. I could see where I could add some twine to this and do some other things, but I'm real happy with the way this one turned out. There we go. Now I'm not losing that little tip. There we go. That's going to do it for me. So I will have more pages, not this sketch, but I'll have some more pages coming up with this collection. I'll put details in the description of this. I used this Echo Park with just stuff from my stash, but here is our sketch of the month. You can see the little focal that I did there, the title, all the little extra bits. Okay. Love The little animals just marching across the bottom. Over here, those tools are too cute. Those tools are too cute. Just stuff from our stash, and ta-da. I love how I was able to use something super old because I don't want to throw these away, these pins that I've had forever. It's nostalgic for me at this point, right? I've had these so long, so I don't want to throw these away. I want to use them. And bringing them out and saying, okay, I have to use these, is the best way to make sure that I use them. Boy, I tied that tight. Okay, let me go ahead, and I just want to put this pin away so I don't end up stabbing myself. All right. People are like, Tina, would you really do that? Yes, I would. Okay, so now that's away. But now I'll know that I'm also going to be able to use up some ribbons out of my stash and just do something really simple like this. It's not hard to fit it in there. If you end up liking that and you want to make one, you can do that with a paper clip. You can just tie the ribbon around the paper clip, add some glue dots to it, and tuck it behind your photos or anything that you have. I used mine a sticker over here, and you can have the same little cute thing. It will look very similar. If you look, this is what it would look like with ribbon on it. And there's the one I had. So there you go. Who knows? Maybe I'll become addicted to them again. All right, I'm going to share and show the other ones I did. I actually tried to do a live for this next version that I have here because we are celebrating Christmas in July. Here you go. And I'll post pictures of these on the page in Facebook. But I actually tried to do this when we've been having so many technical difficulties getting our videos to stream and or post. We're actually just going to pre-recorded videos at this point. Same sketch. Here it is again. This is when we went and had sushi at Izumi's on our last cruise. We were on a family cruise. I love this shuffle that is available on my selfie. I like that so much, using that. This is the Lucky Cat collection. Right now, this is also a highlighted collection we have. I am loving this. All right, here is another one that I did when George and I were in Paris a couple years ago. And this was, for me, was all about finding a bakery that made fresh bread and getting a sandwich, eating it on the street. It was something I really wanted to do while we were in Paris. So you can look, how do I look happy enough or what? And I was willing to make my head that big for the picture. But, you know, we had a strawberry tart. We have the Eiffel Tower. We've got just like these quick little shots of us, me with the bakery, and then the side title, which is, you'll notice these all had the side titles that I shared, this one and this one, these last two. That side title is part, and then I did two without it, just kind of changing it up. All right, so this is a nice way to share and show the sketch of the month, and I want to thank you guys for joining me. Let's get back to the one that I just did for this video. Go all the way to the bottom. I love sketch scrapbooking. All right, and here you go. Now, in an upcoming video, I'm also going to be sharing my process for how I pull these out and kind of line them up in piles and do my printing. I've already did some of that, and I have some pictures to put in on a video. So make sure you check out the other videos that are going to post here on my Creating With You Facebook page so you can see how I try to put all of these layouts to good use. I find sketch scrapbooking a lot less stressful because I don't try to match my photos or bring my photos out and try to make them work, and then, you know, try to find photos or papers that match my photos. And this is very relaxing for me, that I just get to make something that I think looks really pretty and then add my pictures to later. So for sketch scrapbooking, I'm also trying to answer questions that people have on, hey, well, what do you do about this? Perfect example is, if I did not have a 3x3 to complete this layout, then this is a great place for me to do my journaling. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have it, you can go online and get a picture and put it in the place of the place that you have, or you can put little facts. If you're not a wordsy person, you can, there's so much information that's available online. You can literally Google information and find it. If you don't have a photo that is big enough to go in the spot, 2 4x3s would fit here as easily as the one 4x6. So you can always kind of play around with those and just kind of do different things. And I think it just takes a little bit of practice. If you practice and you work at them, then you'll be good to go. But I find it so relaxing to just work with papers and then add my pictures later on. And that is kind of what I did for this one here, the Paris one. I went ahead and did that. I picked my sketch first. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And then I printed my pictures on my selfie in the size that I wanted them to be. And I did the same. You'll notice I changed this one so it came across with two, no gap in the middle on this. And I did the same for this one here. Our night at Izumi's, I did the exact same thing. I went ahead and I chose the pictures that I wanted to highlight the most and then added them. You guys will have to go back and watch the video on that one because this picture is famous, right? All right, guys, thank you so much. If you like this video, found it useful, I don't know, thought I was amusing, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out here in the YouTube community. And if you leave me a comment, I'll be sure to get back with you. I'm always here to answer any questions that you might have. And thanks for letting me craft with you today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.